All right. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halayim Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rachah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us the truth. Honors and salutations to the elect. And shalom to the brothers that passed away doing the work of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, because the dead in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai shall arise first. To the women and children that believe on the true name of the Father and the Son, which the Father's name is Yahweh, he exists. The Son's name is Yahweh Shai, he is the deliverer, because he's going to deliver his people out of this captivity that we're in. My name is Mark Allah Ben Gab Ben Yasharala, here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The Watchman Philadelphia camp. And I just want to bring out this scripture real quick to play a video, because it's breaking news that America, the U.S., has made a deal with the Taliban, and it's a peace deal, you know. And before I even get into a Salakia to the Akim that watched the channel, the Akwatim that watched the channel, you know, Esau had me, I had got 2 strikes on my channel, so I couldn't upload or do anything, so I had a backup channel, which is Maka Al Gad, and I uploaded, only one video was able to upload, man, but I'm still here, man, doing the work. You know, so Salakia to the people that watch the channel. But yeah, the U.S. made a deal with the Taliban, a peace deal, to pull out the troops. So the first scripture that came to mind was 1 Thessalonians 5:3, which it says, For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. God, man. So they're not going to escape. They always keep talking this peace shit. Only time the whole earth is going to be at peace is when the Israelites is back in control of the earth, man. You know, because we're from Jerusalem, which is what? The city of peace. All right? So the people that's over there now, the land is rejecting them, man. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah rejects them. All right? So without further ado, I'm going to hop into the video. I hope that it's edifying. If I can find it. Here we go. I want to play from the beginning. There we go. It was uploaded about 2 hours ago. It is big. Here we go.
We are following breaking news at this hour. The United States and the Taliban have reportedly reached a peace agreement that would lead to the withdrawal of American troops from Afghanistan and a major reduction in violence in that war-torn country. RT correspondent John Huddy has been staying on top of this story. He's joining us now with the latest details to this. John?
Well, yeah, Manila, a senior U.S. official is saying that the U.S. and the Taliban have reached a truce deal that will take effect, quote-unquote, very soon and could ultimately lead to, as you had mentioned there, the withdrawal of remaining U.S. forces in Afghanistan and expanded peace agreement discussions between the Afghan government and the Taliban really over the future of the country. Now, this is something that we reported earlier this week regarding the ongoing peace talks in Doha, Qatar, between the U.S. and Taliban representatives. As we know, previous talks have failed, but we learned this week that President Trump had given his conditional approval of this agreement, but if and only if the Taliban agreed to measures within the deal, specifically a 7-day test, reduction in violence, to be followed by the start of an all-Afghan peace talk within 10 days covering the entire country and Afghan forces. This apparently has been agreed upon, but you know, it's all part of this overall deal that we're hearing about. Now, these latest developments come as U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Defense Secretary Mark Esper met with Afghan President Ashraf Ghani in Munich, who earlier this week tweeted about a phone call he had with Pompeo regarding the ongoing talks and the quote-unquote notable progress that was being made. Now, if this deal does indeed go through, it's likely that President Trump would move to withdraw the last American troops from Afghanistan, thus ending America's longest war, in which tens of thousands of Afghans, civilians, men, women, children, along with Afghan forces have died, and about 3,500 U.S. and coalition troops since the war began back in 2001. But as I've previously said, the question of if the Taliban does indeed reduce violence remains the big if. And what exactly does that look like? How long will it last? When exactly would that start? The Taliban has rejected ceasefire agreements in the past, so there's question if the Taliban really is capable and willing in stopping the violence. Last year, back in September, as we noted, President Trump canceled talks really at the last minute in the 11th hour at Camp David with Taliban representatives after violence continued to be carried out by the Taliban in Afghanistan on Afghan troops and U.S. forces as well. So, it's entirely possible this scenario could happen again, Manila, but if the Taliban does indeed adhere to that test phase of the deal, the week-long reduction in violence, then the start of an all-Afghan negotiation would then kick in. But, there's a lot of ifs here. When exactly is this going to start? And then that said, if the Taliban does agree to this, if they do reduce the violence, what does that look like? And how quickly will President Trump start withdrawing the remaining troops, 12 to 13,000, from Afghanistan? So still a lot of questions, but nonetheless, if this does go through, a very historic moment indeed. Manila, back to you.
Step in the right direction there. John Huddy, live for us in Miami. Thank you.
Salakia for the screen, Akim. Shalom.